The 3 people are already dead. In the first Shadowrun, it was one person that you didn't see killed. In Shadowrun Dragonfall, it was someone that was electrified, fried right in front of you. And in Hong Kong, we had 3 people take sniper bullets to the head. The escalation never stops. Take a drink here. It's been way too long since I've done this. My mouth is clearly not used to it again. Hopefully we can get through next few hours without any fuck-ups. The Rat Shaman guides you from the doorway on the street through an eternity of winding alleyways, dump sub-basements, and empty buildings. Stumbling through refuse and filth, you make your way into the sewers below Victoria Harbour. It reeks down here, but it's quiet. Gobbet stops, sniffs, and wipes her eyes with the back of her wrist. Her rat squeaks softly in the folds of her clothing. The dwarf watches her silently for a moment, then moves closer and gently takes her hand. In the dim light of the sewer, you can see they're nearly the same age. No more than 20. 21 tops. Need a rest? The 2 women exchange a glance. No, we're good. Gobbet looks back the way you came. I think we've shaken them. She sniffs the air. Yeah, we're clear. Wu begins pacing, his boots splashing in the sewer water, creating echoes down the tunnel. You can feel the tension coming off him in waves. This is bullshit. I'm done messing around in alleys and sewers. I'm done running from cops. He pokes a thumb at his chest and spits anger forth in a raspy growl. For fuck's sake, I am a cop! We noticed. There's a Lone Star sergeant dead back there, damn it. She was... Wu starts to choke up. He struggles against it, fighting to maintain control, but he needs a minute to recover. He finally manages to pull it together, but he's raw. When he speaks again, his voice is seething and hoarse. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Hong Kong cops, but I'm calling in some Lone Star backup from home. I'm gonna get some of my own people down here. Then we're gonna find Raymond and figure out what the hell's going on. The little orc smirks. Whatever you say, big guy. You have fun with that. She looks over at her friend. They both nod. Iz and I are out of here. Best of luck finding your friend. But people died in a hail of sniper fire. You're not gonna do anything about it? Best of luck. That's it. He's not our friend. He's our foster father. She looks straight at you. Her tone is flat. And he's probably a dead man. Sorry, but it's the truth. Wu isn't listening. You can see on his face that he's already written the orc girl off. He pulls his security-grade PDA from its holster on his left leg, raises it, and starts tapping the buttons with a meaty finger. The Lone Star logo on the back of the device looks shiny and official. He stops, confused, and then taps it again harder. The red flashing image on the PDA reflects in his goggles. What the hell? I'm locked out of the network. He looks up at you. My law enforcement status has been revoked. He goes back to the screen. I don't believe it. This is saying there's an APB out on us, Aubrey. You and me both. I figured as much. You heard them on the loudspeaker. They knew our names. Wu glares at the wall, a storm raging across his face. Fucking hell. His hand clenches into a fist around his PDA. This just keeps getting worse. He leans forward as if to punch the wall, his knuckles rapping against it softly, a pantomime of barely constrained rage. Suddenly, he turns and slings his PDA at the far wall. It hits hard, bounces back, and clatters to the ground at his feet. He looks down at it, spent. The orc mouths an okay to herself, eyebrows raised. And on that note, I think it's time for us to say goodbye. Come on, Isabel, let's... She's cut off by a sudden smashing noise as her friend's boot comes crashing down on the PDA at Wu's feet. The dwarf looks down at her work, unsatisfied, and brings her boot down again and again and again, until there's nothing left but a snarl of plastic hosing, broken glass, and circuit board. She looks at Wu, her chest heaving, and points at the pile of scrap she's created. Police issue. They can't trace you through that. She turns to you, hand out. Yours too. It's on the network. Oh, yeah, smash it yourself. We bury our own. You crush the PDA to shards under your foot while Isabel looks on blankly. Good. She looks over at Gobbet, sighs, then reaches into her jacket pocket, pulling out 2 new PDAs. She hands them to you and Duncan. Burners. I suppose it's the least we could do, after your help back there. Thanks. You people always have a supply of burners in your pocket? Got any snacks in there? I'm getting a bit peckish. Thanks. Now what? Runners need to be prepared for contingencies. Isn't that right, Isabel isn't listening. She's staring open-mouthed at her own PDA, its bluish glow illuminating her horrified expression. Gobbet, we gotta go. Right now. Isabel's voice is monotone but empathetic. She holds up her PDA to show her friend. They're after us too. Her screen displays a local newscast. Your own face stares back at you from the upper left corner of the screen. And in breaking news, just under an hour ago, Hong Kong port authorities were involved in a firefight with members of a terrorist cell linked to the mainland... I did this on national TV. Fantastic. The mainland city-state of Henan. The battle left 3 terrorists dead along with an unconfirmed number of Hong Kong police officers. Your image winks out, replaced by a scowling image of Duncan Wu, a mugshot from a long time ago, before Raymond. Our sources report that Seattle natives Duncan Wu and Aubrey Lindau, along with their Hong Kong-based accomplices, are still at large. They are well armed and should be considered extremely dangerous. Low-res photographs of Gobbet and Isabel pop up on screen, replacing Duncan. The colour drains out of Gobbet's face. Oh, shit. Kowloon officials report that the terrorist cell, known as the White Star, maintains ties to the state of Henan, and it is purported to be receiving weapons and funding from anti-corporate groups in the UCAS city-state of Seattle. Port authorities are standing on high alert, and the Hong Kong Police Force's Special Duties Unit has been engaged to deal with the threat. We go live now to Chief Inspector Crate of the Special Duties Unit, who will be making a statement. Behind the newscaster, a video window displays the location of your firefight in Victoria Harbour. The camera pans to Chief Inspector Crate. She is surrounded by a swarm of news reporters, but appears unfazed by the attention. She speaks with supreme confidence. We have yet to ascertain the motive for tonight's attack, but it was clearly a well-planned and coordinated effort. Crate sounds smooth, more like a corporate mouthpiece than a cop. We have already issued an all-points bulletin along with a kill or capture order for the 4 remaining terrorists, and I have instructed the Special Duties Unit to make this manhunt a top priority. She looks directly into the camera. If you should see one or more of these individuals, do not attempt to engage them. Instead, tap in the HKPF flash code at the bottom of the screen. If you are on an authorized network and take a picture, our system will automatically identify them in your data stream. The Decker switches off the newscast and clips her PDA back onto her belt. For a moment there's no sound, but the roar of sewer water rushing through the pipes. Gobbet bends over, hands on her knees, sucking wind. Her rats scurry for a new position. I thought we were fucked before. Rue's voice is eerily calm. But now we are well and truly fucked. Doesn't look good, does it? His mouth tightens. Not at all. He begins stalking back and forth, a panther in a cage. They've labelled us terrorists and there's an APB out on us. I've heard this kind of announcement before. I know what comes with it. It doesn't matter if we have anything to do with whatever city-state. They're going to hunt us down. It's open season. Isabel nudges the remains of Wu's PDA with her booted toe. And the two of us will be hunted down right alongside you. Gobbet wide-eyes the exits, tight as a spring. You can hear shallow panting as she leans towards one and then the other. We gotta go deep. Hit the mainland for a while until we can figure this out. Find a hole to crawl into. Gobbet looks at Isabel, wipes her mouth, and points at you and Duncan. We've got to get them off the grid too. Way off. The dwarf looks up at Duncan, and her large eyes narrow. Hey, Lone Star, you got a security license, right? That means you've got a sin too. Wu's brow furrows. Of course I have a sin. I wouldn't be able to get paid otherwise. Only criminals and lowlifes go sinless. She runs her hand along her cyber deck, thinking. That means that you can be traced. Both of you. You get spotted by a drone or a security camera, get ID'd by a retinal scanner, or try to use your cred stick or passport, and the HKPF will know just where to find you. Wu crosses his arms across his chest. I know how a system identifies. Wow, I am falling apart in this part. This is awful. I know how a system identification number works, runner. Ugh. I should have picked Shadowrunner. I didn't think this was going to be a thing. Damn it. So we're stuck in this country. No money, no passport, no nothing. I can't believe this. Tell me about it. Do you have any idea how hard it was to get Lone Star accredited with my background? Gobbet pulls at her dreadlocks. We're just as screwed as you are. Me and Iz, we were listed as your accomplices, and we can't afford for you to get caught. You'll lead them to us one way or another. DNA samples, things we've told you, astral residue, I don't know, cop stuff. The little Decker looks from you to Wu, eyes narrowed, sizing you up. You can see her make a silent decision before she speaks. Her voice is flat, resigned. We need to get your sins burned. Delete you from the record books. All of them. All of them? Whoa, wait a minute. You want us to just erase our identities? Wu rubs her hand across his scalp. Beyond the fact that that's insane, will that even work? If we burn our sins, go off the grid like that, won't they just redouble their efforts to find us? Condensation seeps its way into Isabel's dry tone. Oh, condescension. Condensation. How does someone's tone become wet? Ugh. Imagine playing a game of hide and seek with a siren strapped to your head. Would you rather try and hide with the siren, or with the siren conspicuously absent? Deleting our identities across the Matrix sounds hard. This is bullshit. I'm gonna find a way to smuggle myself back to Seattle. Let's just get on with it. What do we have to do? Yeah, deleting our identities. The little Decker nods knowingly. It's very difficult. I can't do it. Some people can. Organizations, expert systems. Gobbet's voice drops. We gotta ask for help. There's only one person we know who has the kind of pull it takes to burn a sin and hide us from the cops. Kindly Cheng. Some sort of super decker? Let me guess. Kindly Cheng is some sort of underworld hard-ass. Sounds like a restaurant. Hard-ass. Like a walnut. She's what's known as a straw sandal. Kind of a middle manager of the Yellow Lotus Syndicate. Their triad. Kindly Cheng controls all the illegal activity in our neighborhood. Smuggling, bootlegging, counterfeiting. Middle manager? Is the Yellow Lotus a syndicate or a retail outlet? No way, we're already deep enough. We don't need to... Well, no. Sounds like my kind of scum. Yeah. Gobbet leans in, serious as death. Do not get the wrong impression. Kindly Cheng is no bureaucrat. She controls a good-sized portion of Kowloon's underworld. She has soldiers, resources. She's smart. And she is not to be underestimated. Isabel's voice is hollow and flat. Taking favors from a woman like Kindly Cheng is a good way to get yourself into indentured servitude. You don't want to owe favors to a woman like that. Her eyes get big, round. Ideally, you don't want to deal with her at all. That was Nightjar's job. Nightjar's job? You mean you work with her? Wait a minute, you know this woman? What did we just tell you? She's got her fingers in everything, including brokering Shadowrunners for the corpse. Kindly Cheng is our fixer. Oh! So, Raymond contacted Kindly. Oh, okay, this is... So not only was he associating with Shadowrunners, he was associating with the with Triad. Wow, I bet Wu was really surprised by that one. Gobbet tries to make her voice light, confident. Just stay on her good side and you'll have nothing to worry about. Now, let's get this done before one of you trips the APB and brings all hell down upon us. Okay, sure. I must admit, the tone of this is... Whew. Like, the beginning, the intro, like, set a really different tone, and now it's kind of going through this, oh crap, this is bad, oh my god, this is bad, what the fuck? I didn't think you could tunnel under bedrock, like, where are we even going? This is bad. And it didn't even get this bad in Dragonfall until, like, I don't know, 30-40% of the game? Oof. Oh, yeah, basically when you get the money to, fund Alice, that's when it starts... Oof. Anyway. Sinless. You scramble up a ladder and through an access way where the sewer system spits you out into the Hong Kong Mass Transit Railway System, the MTR. Crossing the rails, you climb up to the platform and into the station. Above you is Hioi, where the Rat Shaman and the Little Decker plan to plead your case to Kindly Cheng, the one woman they know who can help you get underground and off the grid fast. But there'll be a price. Cheng is a triad boss whose favours tend to come with strings attached. The sounds of a waterfront at night leak down the stairway to the surface. Peering up the steps, you can catch a glimpse of the night sky, overcast and low. But yeah, other than that, this has been great so far. I fucking love this. Like, I will gush about these games periodically, so I apologise in advance if I gush way too much. The sewers deposit you into a series of mechanical access ways that eventually link to a system of railway tunnels. Gobbet leaves you through 5 or 6 magnetically sealed doors and across several sets of electrified tracks until she indicates you've reached your destination. She holds up her hand, indicates the surrounding platform. This is the MTR station for Hioi. What? I wish I was more familiar with Asian pronunciation, and I know it's different between countries, but I look at that and I say Hioi, but it's probably some... H and E are probably concatenated and it's like Hoi or something like that. We'll go with that, Hoi. Once you go up these stairs, you'll be in our neighbourhood. Kindly Cheng runs her operation out of a mahjong parlour there. A mahjong parlour there called Swift Winds. Wu rips off his goggles. There's an APB out on us. How do you expect us to get to this Swift Winds place without taking a bullet? Hoi is well known as a protected area. Kindly Cheng sees to that. It's a shadow community. Smugglers, hijackers, black marketers. You get the idea. Cops tend to give the place a wide berth. Isabel gives a shallow nod. Her gaze remains planted on the floor. Police cameras don't last long here. Between the smog and the cloud cover, we shouldn't have to worry about drone surveillance either. The HKPF won't find you. Not if you follow our lead. Gobbet widens her stance, puts her hands on her hips. Now, here's how this is going to work. You can't get an audience with Cheng until we secure you an invitation. So, me and Iz will go on ahead and pay our respects. Then we'll request that she see you. Politely. An invitation? How do we get that? The Rat Shaman smirks. We'll kiss her ass until it shines. Isabel sighs. That's about the size of it. Gobbet holds up a hand. One more thing. Kindly Cheng is a dangerous woman. She may seem friendly, but don't let your guard drop. And whatever you do, Do not disrespect her. Got it. I've dealt with dangerous people all my life. I know how to behave myself. I'll act however I damn please. You better. If you don't, it's all of our asses. She lets her hand fall, nods to the three of you. Okay, we'll go on ahead and smooth the way. Just give us a few minutes head start. Why don't we just go with you? If this place is protected, why shouldn't we talk to anybody? What if a local recognizes us from that news broadcast? Gobbet smirks and shakes her head. No one in Hawaii calls cops. Doing that around here is a quick way to get dead. I get it. Her eyes narrow and she nods approvingly. That's good. You catch on quick. You catch on real quick. We need your sins burned as badly as you do, and we need to figure out a way out of this shit, or we're all dead. She quickly turns away. See you at the Mahjong parlor. The Shadowrunner's footsteps quickly fall away, and then you're alone with Wu. He grunts something unintelligible and begins panther-stalking back and forth again, boot prints of sewer water and muck marking his path on the subway platform behind him. Minutes pass. Wu stops his pacing and runs both hands over his face, groaning a sound of anxiety and disgust. It dissipates, and he stands there silently, his hands covering his face and his shoulders shaking with emotion. Then he begins to laugh. It's a laugh that comes from deep down, from the place where fear and frustration and impotence swirl. But the barrier holds. Wu focuses, taking control of his breathing, and his laughter begins to slow. He becomes himself again. Oh my god, Aubrey. An aftershock of laughter shudders through him. Are you fucking kidding me? What the hell are we doing here? How did we get into this? He drops his hands and turns to you, shaking his head in disbelief. I think I'm gonna lose it. I really don't want him to do this, but it just sounds like a bad idea. Yeah, do what you gotta do, but make it fast. He glares at you. Make it fast? What? Carter is dead, Aubrey. They fucking ended her. He puts a hand to his forehead. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Now, just focus on finding Raymond. What are you talking about? You crawled out of worse places before you met her. Sounds like she was more than just your partner. Ooh. Yeah, I think we might need to hit on this. He turns to you with a blank face. More than just a partner. Of course she was. Then he gets it and his hackles raise. She was my training officer, you idiot. My mentor. I didn't mean anything. It looked like you two were close. Wu waves off with a gnarled hand. Carter was my partner. She had my back. Do you get how important that is? What it means to lose that? When you're out there on the streets facing down a food riot, and you need to know someone's looking out for you. That you're standing next to someone that you can depend on. That was Carter. His shoulders slump and he exhales heavily, and she was like my compass, or my anchor, or some shit. She kept me, I don't know, sane. I don't know if anyone else can hear that, but there's like announcements going off in the background that I can kind of hear, but I can't tell what they're saying. That's died off. You're saying, Duncan, this is shock and grief. Yeah, I suppose so. He steps back, sucking in a deep breath. Screw it. Whatever she was, I'm throwing her down the memory hole. You know why? He snarls, spits, because it doesn't matter now. It seems to be a common theme. Because we're gonna burn our sins, Aubrey. Jesus Christ, you get what that means? The moment we do that, we're dead. To all the world, we're dead. We're wiped clean. He counts it off on his fingers. Raymond, the house we grew up in, my career, Carter, all gone. No home, no money, no identity. Nothing. He waves his hand, brushes it all away. We wouldn't be nobody. We were street kids, Duncan. We're used to being nobody. Just chill. I'm gonna find a way out of this. Just follow my lead like you did in the old days. Enough with the drama, Wu. Put on your big boy pants and help me find a way out of this. Yeah, we're used to it. Chill? Who the fuck are you to tell me to chill after what just happened? And you aren't losing what I'm about to lose either? Our paths went in different directions a long time ago. Oh, and you aren't losing what I'm about to lose either. Wu's neck cranes forward, his lower jaw thrust out ahead of him. You left me behind, goddammit! You left me behind! You left me behind. Memories flash bright. Suddenly you're back 8 years ago on the streets outside of Raymond's house. Just you and Wu. The middle of the night.